50% of the work is done in ceremony and the other 50% is done in integrating the work. So I'm speaking to, for me, integration looks like, singing some of those songs that came from the ceremony, or learning a new song even. That's a great way to integrate. What is kind of your feeling on integration broadly, and like maybe give us some other tools?
Yes, thank you so much for that question. And it's been, a topic that's really present on my heart with the work that I have committed myself to in this life, being a bridge for ancestral plant medicines and wisdom cultures to be integrated and shared with the West. And so when I started our journey, with Four Visions and really creating a marketplace and a platform for these sacred plant medicines to be shared, it really came from the same essence that we were just speaking to of these plants healed me. These plants changed my life forever. Eternally grateful and indebted to the wisdom cultures and the wisdom keepers that showed me the way, who helped me to heal my heart and really gave me a new path forward and what it looked like to walk my life forward from that place. So because of that intimacy with my own journey, my calling came from this place of wanting other people to experience this. And, this was like 6-7 years ago at this point, maybe even 8, when the seedlings of Four Visions really started coming into form. And so over the period of building our project and our organization, so much learning took place, and so many questions were asked and presented to me of what it means to do this in a good way, of what level of responsibility falls on me and on our team of our organization when it comes to proper education and container and holding people in these great initiations. And we don't sell visionary ceremonial plants through our platform, but we sell a lot of powerful master tools and ultimately a lot of important investigation of what it means to do this with integrity. And so that, in simultaneously with my studies with plant medicine over the last decade and the opportunity to hold many, many retreats and be able to support and witness hundreds and thousands of people go through their journey with sitting with plants and their healing journey in a retreat, and then also bearing witness to what that process looks like when they go home. And of course, my process too, right? Because ultimately it's both sides. This element of the importance of integration became very, very clear. And, integration, I don't really feel is exclusive to working with plant medicine by any means. And I'm sure that you guys talk about integration when it comes to the Sacred Sons, events.
Every event, always dedicated the last section to integration. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love that.
And then even post calls and like,
yep.
We're a brotherhood, so we're always in connection with our folks. Yep. You know what I mean?
Totally. So I believe integration is, part of any experience of profound spiritual transformation. And so any time where we experience in very intense expansion, where we are getting to see, parts of ourselves that have been hidden for many, many years, or we're witnessing and uncovering the layers of our psyche and the wounds that surrounding our heart. Any type of profound spiritual encounter requires integration.
It's important for me because we're talking about it in the ancient future way. People are coming to ceremony and they're going home and they're having to integrate back into their lives. Like, how do the Yawanawa integrate? Because I see them as like family, as extended, like community. Do they integrate together? How do they do it in the original way that we can like bridge also for the modern folks who are participating in this? Do you have any insight on that, or have you experienced what that feels like?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm super happy you asked it because ultimately my understanding of integration is we are needing it much more in our Western society, in our modern society, because of how far removed we are from our connection to earth, community, and the force of life on a day-to-day basis. So when we look at how the structure of traditional tribes and communities who work with visionary plants is and was, oftentimes, the maloka, or the sacred ceremonial space, was in the center of the village, and then the cacique, or the chief or elder's hut, or casita, was the next closest to the maloka. And then around that, as you move out further and further from the radius of the central pillar of the community, which is the ceremonial meeting space, are other people's huts and other families' casitas. And so right there, we witness that because they are living integrated into their community and to their ancestral ways, they go and they fish together, they go and hunt together, they do their offerings together, their plantings together, they sit and have their community sharings and talks, and then of course their ceremonial work together. Their need for integration looks much different because they naturally have that woven into the architecture or the design of their way of life. And so I feel that that's actually a really important thing to highlight because, when we started going into the development of creating an integration program, the first thing we asked was, is this something that should come and be led by our Indigenous partners, or is this something that needs to be led by our Westerners and the team that forms the other side of the bridge? And because of this, understanding that I was just sharing about, as well as just the nature of how they support their community members when they need support, it's just different because they're within physical, distance that they can go and check on each other in morning and evening.
Well, they're deeply interconnected as a community. So the integration is already, it's built into their lifestyle. And that I wanted to offer this. Sacred Son's first step of integration is staying connected. Mm-hmm. So we have what we call the 4 C's of integration. And the first C is staying connected. And so what you're saying is, those people, they're not only connected, they have the ceremony at the center of their ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And so, I really feel that. And so for folks leaving, right, and going back into a different reality, almost staying connected maybe to the people that they sat with, or people that they can even communicate to about these incredible experiences, is so important.